I have just finished The Witcher 3. Right now, I've just finished The Witcher 3, and I want to talk about one thing, but warning, if you've not watched my Let's Play yet, or you've not played the game and you don't want spoilers, stop watching. This video is going to contain spoilers. Don't worry, this is not my final review, it's not my final thoughts. I'm going to make such a video, and I will try and keep that completely spoiler-free. This is me talking about one particular thing. Okay, so you've been warned. For the last few weeks, I have not been checking the comment section in the Witcher playthrough. I've actually played 3 weeks ahead of where I've currently posted as well, because I'm trying to get ahead. I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I got an end game spoiler several weeks ago. I was pretty annoyed about it, to be honest. It was in one of my videos. I was reading comments. People were going mad about some snowball fight, and somebody just came right out and told me that there was a key decision I had to make, and that if I didn't make the right decision, Ciri would die. And I'll tell you which decision it was that he spoiled. It was the one where you have to choose to go with Ciri to see the sorceresses. And essentially his comment was, well, that's it. If he gets that one wrong, she's dead. Now, those of you who've watched the Let's Play, you know I went with her anyway. Why? Why would I do that if I know it's going to get her killed? Because it's the choice I would have made had I not got that knowledge. I really did try. I looked at it and thought, is there any way I would not have volunteered to go with her? And the answer was no. There was never any doubt in my mind looking at that choice which one I would have chose had I not got spoiler information. So I basically chose to go and play as if I didn't have the information. Obviously this meant that the Let's Play at that point was going to be not a blind Let's Play. It was going to be more like my Jack playthrough or something, where I had some knowledge and I withheld it from the character. Turns out that spoiler was wrong. I mean, thankfully, I suppose. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still kind of upset at the spoiler, because even though I managed to resist the urge to use the information, I have played the last 3 weeks totally convinced Ciri was going to die. And that has affected me. And it has, you know. I mean, I thought I knew something was going to happen, and I thought it was going to be tragic. And I suppose I've been mentally preparing myself for the worst. I've been ready for it. I mean, you could argue, well, it was a pleasant surprise that this person's spoiler was actually completely wrong. But still, don't do it. Please do not spoil things for me. I know the person doing it was probably only trying to help. They were probably thinking, I just want to help him get the good ending. I'm doing air quotes. I've got no interest in getting the good ending. I want to get my ending. The fact that my ending turned out to be good is icing on the cake. But I don't need you to rob the cake to ensure that I get some icing, okay? I'm more about the cake, okay? So it turns out that is wrong. That spoiler was wrong. And I was pleasantly surprised. And honestly, it got to a point, you know, when the gate thing closed, I thought, that's it, she's gone. And I have to admit, even at that point, I was really hoping that he was wrong, and then it closed, and I thought, oh, no. And I'd been ready for it. I was ready for it, but I was still going to be gutted. But then when I went to see the I went to see the Emperor, and I was still convinced she was dead, and I was like, I thought it was a bit abrupt. I thought, why isn't there a scene with me and Yen and crying and screaming? But I'm off to see the Emperor, and honestly, thinking she was dead really changed my attitude towards him. I felt gutted for him as well. I really did, and I couldn't even muster any snark against him. And then I went off to meet someone at the fort, and I couldn't understand why I was meeting someone at the fort. I assumed it was Yennefer. I assumed it was me and Yennefer, and we were going to ride off and just disappear or something. And we met Master Ort. I'm like, who? Why? And then it was a Witcher sword. And almost immediately, this little glimmer of hope came up, like, why would I get a Witcher sword? Who am I getting a Witcher sword for? It can't be me. I've got loads of great Witcher swords. I've got mastercrafted. I mean, I was thinking to myself, that would be a terrible way to end. Oh, you know, you've just lost your daughter, your adopted daughter. You've saved the world, but here's a piece of loot. I mean, even me, someone who's loot-oriented, was like, no, this has got to be for someone. And who could it be? Who else could it be? And all I could think was, CD Projekt Red, if you're doing this to me, if you are giving me some hope that she's alive and she's not alive, I am going to hate you forever. I was really like, okay, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. And I couldn't help it. I was getting my hopes up. And then when I go off and meet this person at the inn, I'm just thinking, okay, it could be Yennefer I'm meeting, and we've made a sword so we can take it and place it on her grave as a point of remembrance, even though she doesn't have a body, you know, and we've made a little shrine or something. It could be something. It could be still tragic. Stop getting your hopes up. Stop getting your hopes up. But then when I saw the cloak and it wasn't black, I'm like, it's Ciri, isn't it? You know, and it just like. Honestly, at this point I'm thinking, they couldn't do this. She couldn't pull the hood back and it was someone completely different, could they? They could. If they'd have done that, there would have been riots. So anyway, you know, obviously I was genuinely and pleasantly surprised that she's alive. I'm really happy about it. But most of all, I'm happy that I got it doing my playthrough. I made the choices I would have made, and I got a good ending, which is nice. It is nice, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is I got my ending. So there you go. I just thought I'd share that with you. It's been weighing me down for weeks now. I've been a little depressed. I have been a little depressed. Not depressed. That's a little over the top. I've been a little sad about this playthrough, feeling like A, I knew what was going to happen, and B, feeling like something bad was going to happen. I mean, it's a Witcher game. You always feel like bad things are going to happen, but it's another thing when you think you know it for sure. When you think you know what is going to happen and why. You think to yourself, it's because I did that. Or even worse, when you're approaching that decision, I'm going to decide to do this and I know it's going to get Ciri killed. It was an awful feeling. That was a really awful feeling. And I just thought I'd share it with you. Anyway, this now means I can run back and start engaging with the comments again. Although you won't, well, you probably will know that because you'll see me commenting again. Okay, we got a bit of a time delay thing here. 3-week time delay. So, yes. Anyway, that's it. Keep your eyes open for my review video. There will be a break now. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I've been playing The Witcher non-stop for a few years now. I'm going to take a break, and then obviously I'm going to come back and do one of the expansions. It's probably going to be Hearts of Stone and the Gwent tournament. So I've got a Gwent tournament, and I think I've got one Witcher contract that I can do. So that's probably going to be the next thing. Hearts of Stone, Gwent tournament, and a Witcher contract. Oh,